All right, guys. Hey, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It's Wednesday, April 13th. I had to think about what month we're in. I am honored, excited, thrilled for you guys to meet, finally, the one and only Ivy Les Vixens, or Ivy Les Vixens. We are going to talk about what she does, who she is. We're going to talk about Come Out Pride, which 2022 Pride Prom is this weekend, and Ivy is the featured person. We are all excited about that. Welcome to the show, Ivy. It's so good to see you. How are you?
So happy to be here. I am fantastic. It's been a long time coming, you and I trying to do this, so I'm stoked to be here. And it's a good time to be gay.
That's right. Gay, 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 gay. We're going to say it 1,000 times. It makes me crazy. We talked about that before we went live. All right. So for the people who might be under a rock, or maybe my audience that might not understand what's going on, tell them a little bit about you. Give them the origin story on Ivy.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Ivy Les Vixens. I am a lesbian. I'm also a burlesque performer. I started performing many, many moons ago for queer women and lesbians because we definitely are often an overlooked demographic with community. You know, we love our queens, we love our drag queens, we love our drag entertainment. I was raised by a wild pack of drag queens, but there wasn't anything that was specific for lesbians and queer women. And so I've been doing this for a long time, and I run a troupe of all queer performers, all queer burlesque performers, and we are actually the largest all queer burlesque troupe in the country. We are the OG, the original, and
OG queer.
OG queer women performing for queer women. And yeah, so I started that a long time ago, and now we are a full-fledged burlesque troupe. We are in Forbes magazine. We are all over the place. We run the largest running and longest running queer women's weekly event at Girl the Party every Saturday night at Southern Nights. And then we put on bigger shows, themed shows. I perform all over the state. So spreading the glitter gospel across the state of Florida and beyond.
That's right, the glitter. It's the glitter. It's the glitter grind, I think is the name of the show.
That's what I'm on.
So let me ask you, and then we'll take a deep dive into what you burlesque, and I want people to learn more about that. When did you know that performing and entertaining and being and doing what you do, because it's not just business, you have a message, you really represent a lot of people who are unrepresented, disenfranchised is the buzzword. When did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
Well, I think that the universe knew that I had a message, knew that I had a purpose, but didn't really know which platform to give me. And then it was like, sparkly boobs, run with that. And I was like, sparkly boobs, here we go. We're gonna run with that. That's so, you know, I've always been a performer. And then once I started performing at doing burlesque, it was kind of luring people in with, you know, glitter, sparkles, sexiness. And then it was like, bam, self-care, gay pride, you know, all the messaging that was behind the performances. And I think that I've really kind of worked to use my platform, not just to be an entertainer, but also to be an advocate for mental health, an advocate for rights, an advocate for femmes, for lesbians, for queer women, for bisexuals, for trans women. You know, we have we really want to reach that demographic and show, you know, my troupe itself is very diverse. You know, we have body types, we have color, we have all types of diversity within the troupe. And because I want every single person in the audience to see one of my vixens and feel them represented. So that's really what we've been working hard to do. We've been really trying hard to make people feel seen and understood, and show that, you know, you can be sexy, queer, empowered, and, you know, and be successful doing it, you know.
Well, and I think your message, it couldn't be any more timely with the insanity that we're dealing with in our home state. So anytime we get to say gay, 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 whatever we have to say, I feel like we need to let everyone know that we support you. There are people in the community like Ivy, there are allies like me. We also agree that it is egregious what is happening, and we are behind you and support you. And sometimes, especially LGBTQ youth, don't feel that way because there aren't a lot of opportunities for them to get or access the mental health services that you need. And our state has definitely made that a lot more difficult. So let's talk about that. Our LGBTQ youth. We have a prom coming up on Saturday, which I'm super excited. I got to give a shout out to Kat Brower and so many people who are got behind it. Gail Tryon also introduced me and told me it was going on. I'm like, why am I not there? So I will be there. But tell them about prom. What's happening and what is it going to do for our community? Who is it supporting?
So I'm very excited because Come Out with Pride invited me to perform and to promote the Second Chance Prom. So for all of us who in high school didn't get to go to prom as we wanted to be or with who we wanted to go with, you know, if you had to wear a suit but you wanted to wear a dress, if you had to wear a dress but you wanted to wear a suit, if you had to go with your boyfriend even though you really wanted to go with your girlfriend, this is that chance, that second chance prom that you get to do a redo. And some of us never went to prom because we didn't feel comfortable. You know, it wasn't our scene. It was too, you know, hetzes, you know, and very played those roles. So this is our opportunity to have that prom, to have that experience, to take the fun photos with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend or, you know, with your partner, and to dance and be yourself. And I'm so excited to be part of it. I'm one of the performers along with Roxy Andrews, Angelica Sanchez.
I love Roxy.
I do too. And then we're also going to have some really cool ballroom dancers coming through, some voguers. It's going to be a really fantastic event. And I have to give a shout out to Tatiana, who is the executive director of Come Out with Pride, and Maya Monet. She is the vice president of Come Out with Pride, and they have been working tirelessly to put this together. They came up with the idea, and they're making it happen. And I think it's so brilliant, and I'm honored to be part of it. So
I think all of us. So whatever your beliefs are, however you identify, I think there's very few people who had an amazing experience at prom. So if, like Ivy's saying, if you didn't get to go the way you wanted, didn't get to dress the way you wanted, didn't feel like you felt like you were being fake when you went, which I think a lot of LGBTQ plus people did, right. Because it's only recently come into mainstream, and I feel like we're going backwards. We have to keep fighting. But I think it's so beautiful that we're going to produce, because I think for a lot of people, there's going to be some healing that goes on. As an adult, you still carry that stuff that happened in high school at prom. You still remember how you felt left out at odds, didn't feel good about who you were and what you were doing because you weren't being the real you, and you weren't allowed to be the real you at that time. And so I feel like it's not only going to be a celebration of who we all are, however you identify, there's also going to be a little bit of healing going on. Because I think, like you said, a lot of people didn't get to do what they wanted to do at prom or didn't get invited. And I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. It is very difficult to feel left out and out of sorts and not be your real self. And we are going to change all of that on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of LGBTQ people feel a lot of shame. I think that's a common trauma that we feel across the board. And so having queer spaces that celebrate us is extremely healing. You're right on the money with that. I think it's one of those times where we get to heal our inner child, heal that kid in high school, you know, who we've carried with us this whole time, you know, and who's been hurting this whole time. I did a VIP giveaway on my Instagram, and you know, I told people, hey, ask the way you win these tickets is you ask your partner, ask your crush, ask someone in the comments to prom. And some of them were just so sweet, you know, because people were like, I never got to go to prom. Like, I would love to go with someone. And it was just like, oh, so you're right on the money. It's going to be a healing time, and it's going to be it's going to be super fun.
So much fun. All right. So tell them, for people who don't understand what burlesque means, explain that to them. I know what it means because I know I've seen Roxy perform. But I've seen a lot of performers. Tell them what burlesque is.
Yes. So burlesque is the art of the tease. It is it was based in kind of satirical comedy back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. We've had a revival. So it's the art of the tease. It is a lot of artistry, you know, top hats, corsets, feather fans, the whole nine. And it is little bits of sexy theater. So I think that's one of my favorite ways to describe it, is that we have these like vignettes on stage. And yes, we will be taking some things off, but it's all the tees without the sleeves. It's very classy. It's art. It's, you know, yes, I thought you'd like that.
I love that word.
We also do a lot of bigger themed shows. So we do, you know, we just did a video game vixen show. We have a rock and roll Hall of Fame show coming up. So different themes like that. So it is little bits of theater in a sexy way. And then we also, that's more classic burlesque. We also have more neo burlesque, which is where we can perform to like a Britney Spears song, you know, and rock that out. And so it's very similar to drag. We have our roots kind of in the same arena, and then it's just sexy stripping theater.
If you haven't seen it, you are missing out. I want to tell you, I want you to, and we'll talk about how you can reach Ivy and follow her and see where she's performing. So come out Pride, come out with Pride, the prom. The prom is this weekend.
Yes.
It is Saturday, which is April, I can't do math, but 16th.
Yes.
It's at OMA, Orlando Museum of Art. Beautiful, beautiful venue. It is to raise awareness, raise money, raise funds. There are so many LGBTQ plus youth who now have been making progress, and now we are challenged in our community right now with that. So we have to continue to make sure that they feel loved and supported and valued. Ivy, I ask every guest before we close out, I ask every guest one question. When I say the word hero, who's the first person who comes to mind for you?
For me, it's Dolly Parton.
Oh my God. Michael U3 is going to love that. I have a friend who is a Dolly Parton fan. Why?
Well, she's such a self-made woman. First of all, I mean, physically, she created herself. You know, her music career and everything she stands for is, she's one of the few celebrities who did it all on her own and created her own caricature of herself and then marketed that and became very successful. And now she supports LGBTQ rights. She supports so many amazing things. She helped with the vaccine. You know, Dolly Parton really, you know, in her simple ways, she's made such a huge impact. And I definitely, as a performer, look up to her, but also as a person. You know, I think when someone has the platform and they don't use it, I lose a lot of respect. When someone has the platform and then uses it in some of the best ways, my respect skyrockets. So
because we all have a platform. I love to use my platform. You love to use yours. I feel like if we have a platform and we're not doing it for the good of the world and the good of humanity, we are missing out on our calling. All right, Ivy, what is the best way for them to find out more about you, book you, know where you're at? How can they reach you?
You can follow me at Eveleena, Eveleena on Instagram. You can also type in Ivy Les Vixens and I will pop up. Follow Les Vixens Burlesque on Instagram, lesvixens.com. And then you can email us, contact@lesvixens.com. And remember, that's Les, L-E-S, like lesbian, vixens.com. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on social media. I'm also on TikTok, Twitter, all of the things. So Ivy Les Vixens. Find me, follow me. Let's be friends.
You're an amazing human being. It's such an honor to have you on the show. I'm super excited to get to see you and give you a hug on Saturday. Y'all, Ivy Les Vixens. You can go to lesvixens.com or Les Vixens if you want to be French. Get behind our youth. Get behind the people who are disenfranchised, and this group is certainly disenfranchised, and we want to give them a voice, and we want to be heard, and we want to say gay, 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 gay all the time, whatever.
Forget trans. We got to get behind our
trans as well. We have to support our community. Everybody should have a voice. Let's help give it to them. Ivy, thank you so much. You're amazing. We'll see you guys Saturday, and if not, we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.